Hi, I just landed this large commission. I'm going to be doing it on an 8-foot panel, 8 feet long by 42 inches wide. I need to do a lot of prepping and stuff. I'm using a high density fiberboard, and I'm going to affix canvas to it. And I'm going to show you the step-by-step process of doing all this stuff, and then I'll be showing you also step-by-step painting, you know, what I go through with the painting and all that sort of stuff. Just thought it'd be fun to do this on video, give you know, people an idea of all the things that you have to do to make a large painting. Thanks. And what we're looking at right now is the table I'm going to be using as a work surface for now. There you can see the back of the panel. Had a friend, Dan Abbott, put these brackets in it. This will be a way to hang it on the wall. We'll just put nails in the wall into the joist, and the nail hole go in there, and they slide it right up. We have two of these, one there and one down on this end. I also had Dan run a router over this thing to get rid of the square edge. You can see it's got a nice rounded edge. This is all the way around. What I've decided to do in order to seal this whole panel, I'm going to paint the front and the back with just an interior flat latex house paint. I'm going to put one coat all the way around. That way it kind of seals it, keeps it safe from moisture, that sort of thing. So that's what I have right here is just it's kind of a bone color. Like I said, it's acrylic paint, Kelly Moore. Since I don't have a dish, I'm just going to be pouring it out on here. And too much fun. Now I know I don't like painting houses. I cut my canvas out yesterday, and I cut it so that it would overlap. Darn it, I didn't make it big enough. No, just kidding. Actually, it's going to be just the right size. And then tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I have a friend coming in, and she's going to help me glue this thing down. For all you guys out there who don't know me that well, I sometimes don't take my work real serious. We're using the painting. The canvas hasn't been attached to the painting yet, but we're using it as a table today, my friend Carolyn and I. So, I don't know if this is going to make the show or not, but it just might. Before we go much further, I'd like to explain a little bit more about the canvas. It's just regular cotton gut canvas. It's got a coat of gesso on the outside, which is a water-based acrylic, essentially. Almost the same thing as acrylic house paint, not quite the same. The gesso protects the surface of the canvas from the oil paint, which will actually eat it up and destroy it eventually. The way I'm going to be gluing it to the panel beneath is by using this stuff that they use for it's decoupage. It's called Mod Podge, and exactly what it is, it's like a really heavy-duty Elmer's glue, but it works better. We're going to do about 2 feet at a time on it. I'll be showing you that a little bit later. Got the rolling pins, my wife's rolling pins, Kathy's. She's letting me borrow them, and once we're going to get the glue on underneath, we'll be going back over and making sure we try to get all the air bubbles out. The last thing you want is an air bubble between the two surfaces. First of all, I want to introduce my friend Margie Watts. She's a fellow artist. She does a lot of silk painting, landscape stuff like that. Silk paintings of flowers, things like that. So we're going to be using this decoupage stuff I told you about earlier, sponge brushes, and then we're going to go about 2 feet at a time. And once we get the stuff laid down in an even thing, we're going to roll it out, smooth everything out of it, and hopefully it'll all work out. and I maybe we ought to go over the edges too, you know, because I'm going to
Yeah,
want
because
to
it's
make
going to
it.
wrap around it.
I'm going to go wrap around it, so let's go ahead and do that also.
Okay.
And as we go, we'll just do it. Got that stuff on, and now we're just going to roll it. We'll roll it a little bit past the mark where the stuff is, and then just smooth it.
Oh wow!
Marge brought these nice brushes that you use for wallpapering. Like I said, I brought some rolling pins. Whether or not we'll need them, I don't know.
Okay, so we got to bend down the side.
So I'm going to go down over the side.
Did we want to do it underneath or just?
What I had to do is staple it. Just put
Underneath?
a staple. I'll put a staple in underneath.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just put a few in here and there, and then go back out in later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there's a little.
Oh, that was a bug I squished earlier. It'll sandpaper right off. Oh yeah.
Oh, you did this. Yeah. There you go. When we get through this, you can come up and mount your wallpaper.
Huh?
My bathroom.
I've done plenty of wallpaper in my life. That's for sure. You need this? Wow. That laid down really smooth. A nice smooth surface going on in here. This has taken us a total of what, maybe 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Actually, it's gone a lot smoother and faster than both of us thought it would. And I thought that I could do this possibly all by myself. So Margie volunteered to come, and I am certainly glad she did, because this stuff, the Mod Podge, the glue, dries very quickly. There's no way I could have done both sides of it. So what I'm using now is it's actually a staple gun, electric staple gun. I flipped the panel over, the edges of the canvas are coming up over it, and I'm just going to tack them down with the staple gun. So now that we've got it all secured, I'm just going to flip it. This is my friend Amy. She's another artist here in the Art Center. All right, thank you. That helped. Let me push it that way just a little bit. Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome.
This is very rough. It's got a lot of tooth and what we call a lot of drag. If you're to take a paint full of brush full of paint, drag it across it, it'll come off very, very quickly. So what I want to do is make the canvas so it's not so rough. What I'm going to do is put several layers of this acrylic gesso over it. Gesso is what you put on canvas in the first place to protect it from the oil paint. Between each coat, I'm going to be sanding it down. This stuff is very, very thick, so I'm going to add water to thin it down. And that's more or less how you prep the canvas. Makes the painting go a lot faster, a lot easier, get a lot more work done in a shorter amount of time. I've added water to it, loosened it up, or made it a lot thinner. You saw how thick it was. It was like paste. Now it's more like, almost kind of like honey, about that thickness. Just finish this up right here at the end. Make sure and do the edges and the ends too. Well, that's the first layer. I've put 6 coats of the gesso on there. What I've done is over a period of about 3 days can only put about 2 coats a day on as big as it is, and it's kind of cold right now. It's during the winter time. Right now, I'm in the middle of doing my sketches. I have everything laid out, all my reference material and stuff laid out on the panel. It's like a door though, so it's not, you know, it's protected. It's not going to be any problem. I'm just doing a lot of sketches. One thing I haven't told you what this painting is going to be is 5 horses. One of them is Secretariat, who I'm sure everybody knows, Zenyatta. She was a champion mare the last couple of years, actually won Horse of the Year back in 2009. She went undefeated until her very last race, and due to a lot of traffic problems and getting way further back than she usually does, she ended up coming up a neck short. The next horse is a horse called Barbaro, who won the Kentucky Derby several years back, 3-4 years back, and looked like he's going to be a Triple Crown winner. And 1/16 of a mile out of the gate in the Preakness Stakes, he ended up breaking a back leg. Another one is a 1930s and 40s legend Seabiscuit. They made a movie about him several years ago. And the last one is a horse who ended up winning the Eclipse Award for Sprinter of the Year. He was a local horse here in Northern California. His name was Lost in the Fog. He was owned by a local San Francisco guy. He was trained by Greg Gilchrist, who trained here, mostly in Northern California. So it's these 5 horses. They're going to be running around out in the field.